Welcome back to the channel, guys, and I am back with season number 2 of the 2007-2008 retro database Glory Hunter save. And if you remember, if you caught the last episode, right at the end of the last episode, I resigned from Benfica. Or I didn't resign, I was still in Benfica, but I applied for the Atletico Madrid job, and I got it. I got a new job, and we are here at Atletico Madrid. The same Atletico Madrid that has Maxi Rodriguez, Diego Forlan, Jose Antonio Reyes, Sergio Aguero. It's an immense side, and they massively underperformed last season. I think they finished 6th or 7th in the league. If we're going to have a quick look at the league table from the previous season, yeah, they finished 7th and only just about qualified for the UEFA Cup as well, which is another reason why I applied for them, because as we all know, if you ever tried the Glory Hunter save, winning the Europa League, as it is now, UEFA Cup, as it was back then, it's difficult. It is difficult. So, just a quick recap of the first one. Obviously, I did win the Portuguese Premier League and also the Taça de Portugal. Completely scrubbing off Portugal already within one season. Thank you very much. And now I'm on to Spain. Realistically, though, do I have the target in mind of toppling Barcelona and Real Madrid from the top 2 in the first season? No. No, I don't. Do I have ambitions to win, say, the Cup? I think it's called, what's it called? The Spanish Cup? And also the UEFA Cup? Yes, I do. Are those both possibilities? Of course they are. League, I don't think it's going to happen. I may have to, if I can create some sort of super team within a couple of seasons, I may be able to do it. But dislodging the Barcelona side that's got Xavi, Messi, Iniesta, Busquets, to name but a few, yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. So, let's go and have a look at the squad first before we go and have a look at the financial side of things and transfers. And we have an extremely good squad. I'll rearrange it first. My main goalkeeper unfortunately got injured, Leo Franco, but I do have a 17-year-old David De Gea in the side who was sitting around in my under-19s. I was thinking, nah, I want to bring him up into the first team squad, get him that exposure straight away. Even though I'm not really looking at player development that much, I thought it was quite a sound idea. I'll go over the transfers because there are some names in here that weren't here before, but other players that I've been using. Raul Garcia, absolutely amazing central midfielder who can play pretty much anywhere. Thiago Motta, Maxi Rodriguez, who is the club captain still, but the other issue that I did have with Atletico Madrid is the likes of Maxi Rodriguez and Sergio Aguero both want to leave. They've both requested, I've both promised it, but they can only leave for certain amounts, and that's 35 million each. I really don't want to let them go, and as we're on the 1st of September, I have had a couple of bids in for Aguero, and the most ironic thing of all happened, Man City bid for him. They matched the release clause in a weird twist of fate, and I was like, okay, no problem, he's going to go to Man City just like he did in real life, and he rejected them. And I wondered why, and I looked at it and saw that Man City had actually been relegated the season previous. It did make me chuckle, and I hope it's some sort of foreshadowing in real life. Diego Costa, a young Diego Costa, the Brazilian striker, just sitting around here, not so good, needs a bit of development. Diego Forlan is absolutely immense. He's already got 4 goals in 3 games, absolutely incredible player. And Jose Antonio Reyes, rest in peace for him. What a player he is, and the fact that Arsenal let him go is a little bit weird, but still. That's our squad. I'm going to go and have a look at the transfers, because I did spend a little bit of money. For the life of me, I can't remember what our transfer budget was, but it has been spent. I think it says next season 12.5 million. I think when I came in I had about 15-ish, something like that. And I did come in pretty late. So when I applied for the job, it took nearly a month of the game of just me sitting at Benfica waiting for them to respond. And it is a serious bugbear of mine with the game, and I hope it's one of those things that they've managed to sort out a little bit on FM25, is the time between applying for jobs and waiting for a response time. Because as those weeks tick down, you're losing more and more time with the players that you're trying to bring in for a starter, or the players that actually want to leave. Yeah, a couple of players did go late on, but not for too much money. Manish was one who left for 1.2 million. Pichu Atienza is a youth player who actually has a really good potential ability. But Man United came in and matched his release clause and he wanted to go. So I guess at this point in time, Atletico Madrid really weren't... They were the best of the rest, so to speak, along with Valencia, and like Valencia at this time period. Wow. So yeah, it's difficult. It's going to be difficult, this. But I needed to strengthen the squad. So what I did was target my centre-backs first. And I brought in 2 absolute doozies. Screwing Man City over, I brought in Vincent Kompany from Hamburg, and he's absolutely phenomenal. Although, weirdly, 6 natural fitness. I have no idea why. Thomas Vermaelen, another Belgian centre-back, but also absolutely excellent. Enjoys the big matches, consistent, exactly what we are looking for in this team. And yeah, I brought him in for 9.2 million from Ajax. Fantastic signing. What more needs to be said? But one of the best midfielders, young midfielders on the game, and actually did turn into one of the best defensive midfielders in Europe for a long time, Ever Banega. The Argentine defensive midfielder was absolutely phenomenal in real life. Really, really good player. I really liked his style of play. I brought him in from Boca Juniors, saw that he was interested, and for the fact that I only brought him in for 7 million, I couldn't say no. So he strengthens my squad. Unfortunately, he is injured as well. Typical. And I also wanted to bring in some more fullback cover. So a player I've never really heard of, actually, to be fair. Alessandro Potenza. Brought him in from Fiorentina. Good aggression. Reasonably good physicals. Really good crossing. So I think overall it could play on both sides as well, even though he's right-footed. So it just made sense. And I brought him in for, I think, what was it, 875,000. So an absolute snip. Scheduling-wise, on the other hand, obviously, as I said, competitions, we've got the League, the UEFA Cup, and the Spanish Cup. Scheduling-wise, though, it's not been a bad start, to say the least. Only conceded 1 goal, a 4-0 win against Getafe. Absolutely spot on. Aguero, Pablo, Maxi Rodriguez, and Luis Garcia. Then we absolutely battered Sevilla away from home as well, more than anything. Forlan got 4. But I think the result so far, for me, is the 3-0 win against Barcelona at home. I did not expect that. I didn't think we were at that level to beat Barcelona yet. But hey, I guess we were. Tactically wise as well, again, very similar formation to what I usually play anyway. It's what works. Wing backs, 4-2-3-1, ball winning midfielder, regista, shadow striker, winger, inside forward. Basically all the roles that fit the players in the squad. So, with that being said, let's go and simulate the season, show you a few highlights of what's going on, and I'll see you guys after the break. The bright starts of the season continued, winning 13 of our first 18 fixtures, beating Atletico Bilbao 3-2, a 3-0 win versus Real Zaragoza, and also bringing that fine form into Europe, recording a 1-1 away draw at Fenerbahce, a 3-1 win versus Atalanta, and a 2-1 win versus Porto. Rolling into the Christmas period, this form continued, recording a 4-1 win versus Sevilla and a 3-1 win versus Valencia in the quarterfinals of the Spanish Cup. Speaking of the Spanish Cup, in rounds 1 and 2, we recorded back-to-back 11-0 wins. Annoyingly, we seem to run out of steam around February time, being knocked out of the UEFA Cup by Spurs in a tight affair that was 6-4 on aggregate. These results, though, seem to spur us on, only to lose one of our last 12 games, scoring 32 and only conceding 5, with the standout games being a 6-1 win versus Celta Vigo, another 5-0 win versus Real Zaragoza, a 6-1 win versus Recreativo, and a massive Derby Day victory, a 1-0 win versus Real Madrid to round off our season. Oof. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm actually really happy with that. We are definitely the best of the rest. We've got a 6-point lead over Villarreal, who are actually a very good side, and we're well ahead of Valencia and Sevilla, Athletic Bilbao. And we're not actually that... Okay, yeah, 15 points sounds like a lot when you're up against Barcelona, but I can guarantee, as soon as I look at these losses, silly little losses by 1 goal at a time. 2-1 to Deportivo, a 1-0 and a 1-0 to Getafe and Barcelona, who ironically, before the highlights reel, I've beaten at the start of the season, so that's annoying. Points dropped there, silly points. I don't think actually we're too far off. So it's already making me think, like, sort of into the future, depending on how we did on the other competitions. Let's go and have a look at that, and yeah, that's definitely made my mind up already. Even if I look at the job centre, which I will do in a second, I'm more than likely going to stay for a second season at Atletico Madrid. I think we're almost there. We're not actually that far off, just a couple of tweaks. But it's also whether I can keep hold of my players or not. And again, I'll come to that in a second. So, UEFA Cup, we got knocked out by Spurs, which is a little bit annoying. Obviously, it's on the league phase, even though it wasn't like that in real life. And we just missed out on the automatic as well. That's a little... So where we are, so we beat AEK Athens in a knockout round, and then that's when we went through to meet Spurs, and we lost, what? 5-0. 6-4 on aggregate. Oh, that's just chucking it away. Oh, that's disappointing. And then Spanish Cup, Real Madrid won it, but we got knocked out. Okay, 7-2 on aggregate. Yeah, okay, I think that's a resounding ass whooping, to be fair. Yeah, okay, so no silverware this season, but still feeling very hopeful that we're not too far away. Having a look at the squad, let's have a look at the goals. 35 from Forlan in 45 games. 31 from Garcia in 10 assists. Diego Costa got 12 and 7. 11 and 7 from Jose Antonio Reyes. What you will notice though is there is a couple of players that are missing. And yes, as I said before, Aguero and Rodriguez both had release clauses, and they did go. They did go. Along with Raul Garcia as well. 2 in the January, and Aguero actually left just before the highlights reel and I started simulating the season. AC Milan came in for a bid. He went 35 million. 33 million for Rodriguez. He went in the January to Valencia because he was still kicking up a fuss. And Raul Garcia, his release clause got met as well, so he left. That probably, especially these two being halfway through the season, probably scuppered our season on any chance of actually having any silverware, because I'm pretty certain if we managed to keep hold of those two, we probably would have won. In fact, I'm quite confident in saying we probably would have won the UEFA Cup if they stayed around. But, such is life, there's not much we could do about it. I did bring in one player though, in the January, to replace Rodriguez and Garcia, and that is the phenomenal Pablo Aimar. 29 years old now, so coming into the tail end of his career, but still absolutely world class. Still just amazing. And the fact that he came in halfway through the season for less than 17 million, 17 games in the league, 6 goals, 9 assists, so that close. 26 games in total, 14 assists. 14 assists. He is some player. Absolutely amazing. Okay, physically, yeah, I think it's been done over a little bit there, to be fair, but technically and mentally, can't fault him. Absolutely can't fault him. And if anything, I'm kind of glad I brought him in as a replacement for Rodriguez, because I could see what was happening. The Rodriguez bid had come in, so I needed a replacement to at least alleviate some of the damage. The Garcia one, it did surprise me. I couldn't really do anything about it. So I think overall, if we put all that into perspective, this season has actually been quite successful, because on top of all that as well, if we have a look at the competitions, we're back in the Champions League as well, so that money is going to help. Speaking of which, money-wise, got a very good transfer budget. Their debts and loans are non-existent, so pretty much the money that I made from Garcia and Rodriguez and Aguero has either gone back into the club or is in my transfer budget, and I still get to keep all of it. So 62.8 million in this database is a huge sum of money, massive amount of money. One thing I did actually want to check as well, if there is anything. I can't see it. No, I wanted to check the awards, but let's have a look. So, Oscar Astari, who remembers that name from this game? What a keeper he was. Victor Valdez, Leo Franco came second. So, Carlos Queiroz, who was my assistant manager, is still my assistant manager. He hasn't left, so that's good. Okay, that's not too bad. Have we got, actually saying that, have we got, before I go and check the job centre as the final thing, have we got anybody in the youth academy that can come through? Koke is one who has developed rapidly. Well, he is one that's potentially going to go in. Ivan Sanchez, I think, is... I don't know whether he's a real player or just a computer regen, but he doesn't look too bad for 16. Camacho, not too bad as well. So he's another one that could come up. If we have a look at the squad in the Atletico B, there's hardly anybody there. If we have a look at the under-19s, there's a lot of players in here who have gone out on loan. The likes of Simao. Simao, what a phenomenal winger he is. But he was loaned out before I came in. And this, again, brings me back to the point of the job interview and the application process took so long, I couldn't stop this. And he would have been ideal for this season. Absolutely ideal. So, yeah, he'll be staying. That is for certain. There's definitely a few around that I think can come in. There's a few that are going to get sold. There's a few that want to leave. So there's going to be a lot of chopping and changing this summer. As for chopping and changing, if we have a look at it, Fulham got relegated, Charlton got relegated, so I have no interest in that. Ooh. Now, Inter Milan. That's an interesting one. Who have they got in it? Maicon. A hot prospect is Philippe Coutinho. Oh, that's amazing. A 16-year-old Philippe Coutinho is their youth prospect coming through. Maicon. Oh, wow. Wow. That's incredible. Financially wise, how are they looking? Really? Oh, no. No. I'm presuming the manager got sacked. Mancini. Yeah, he got sacked. Because... Oh, no. Don't want to do that. Because they finished 4th in Serie A. That is intriguing. I know I said I wasn't going to apply for anybody. They do have a little bit more money. Let's have a look at the squad overall. Let's have a look at the squad. So who they got in goal? Julio Cesar is their main goalkeeper. He was phenomenal. Oh, they got Walter Samuel. Oh, Marco Materazzi, Ivan Cordoba, Maicon, Raul Albiol, Zanetti, Veloso, Christian Kivu, Maxwell, even Patrick Vieira. Who's that? What? Oh, God. The only one that's retiring is Luis Figo. That's a shame. That is a shame. But, they got Ibrahimovic and Nicholas Bentner, David Suazo, and they did buy Angel Di Maria off me in the first season, and they've not really used him, so how good is Ibrahimovic? At 27, he's in the peak of his powers. Alvaro Recoba as well. Okay, yeah, fallen by the way a little bit. They need a little bit of a refreshing. David Suazo, maybe another. He was really good in this game as well. I have got a little bit of thinking to do on this. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I may end up having to apply for that. That is just a little bit too tempting. Just a little bit too tempting. Well, there we have it, guys. It's the end of the episode. Please do leave a like on it if you did enjoy this content, and do subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with the rest of the stuff that is going on with the channel. And yeah, go and check out my socials down below as well. Check out the other videos that I've got on there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.